for our YouTube channel. Welcome. We also, you can go under my events and you can go under past events and you can click on that and it'll go down and show all the videos that have been played before, all the classes, all the lessons. And you can click on the video and you can re-watch that if you don't want to go through all of my feed. Okay, so all the classes are always free. So if anybody ever says that I'm charging, that is false information. All the classes are free. So please share and join us as much as y'all want. If you miss it, no worries. Come back and watch it another time. All right, guys, so our sign tonight is going to be this beautiful I love fall most of all. So it's got the green, the burgundies, the greens, and the oranges in it. So, so pretty. Now what I did is I buy those cable mounts that you can get through Deco Exchange or on Amazon. They are, thank you, Miss Pam. It's good to see you too. I hope you're getting some cooler weather up there. Y'all has been so nice in Texas. It was 40 degrees at the farm this weekend when I went up for that craft show. And it's supposed to, no, it was like 47, 52, something like that. But it's supposed to be 40 degrees, only highs in the 70s in Oklahoma this weekend. So I'm so excited. So, but on these signs, y'all, if you will get these little tiny cable mounts, they will be game changers. They're sold on Amazon. They're sold 100 to 500 to a package. They've got a little sticky mount to the back of them. You peel it off, stick it on there, and then run. I always use Gorilla Glue first. Stick it on there after I pull off the little tape on the back. Then I put hot glue around it just to help secure it. So Miss Donna, to get to the events, go to your Facebook page, to Blessings with a Bow, look under events, and then under events, it'll have all the upcoming classes, and then it'll say past events, and you can click on that and actually get to any of the classes that have been done. Oh, Miss Karen, you have to go to Craftex. Go early, and you will miss all the craziness on the weekend. Oh my gosh, I love that store. And another guy that I was watching today was over there and I was so jealous because it is so much fun. You'll just get consumed in that store. So they've got 2 buildings. Be sure to go to the Christmas building. You'll be in awe of their trees. They're just beautiful. Y'all, they have an entire circus tree that has zebras and monkeys, and they took hula hoops and wrapped them, and they've got big monkeys hanging from them, and there's these big animals and elephants coming out of the tree. It's just absolutely fabulous. The only thing is there's not always best service up there, so it's hard for me to video when I'm there, but I'm going to try again for you guys next time I go. Hi, Miss Donna. So I've got my sign already prepared with the 2 mounts, and this is how we're going to actually attach it to the center of our wreath once we're done, okay? So I'm going to set that aside. Now I've got 3 rolls of mesh. I'm going to put this as the base. I'm going to use the green and the striped for one of the colors to contrast, because the outlining of my sign has the green in it. And then I'm going to come back with the orange and the white, or the orange and the tan. So these are the 3 combinations that I'm going to use for this wreath. Okay, these are all 10-inch mesh. These 3 all did come from Hobby Lobby. The brown and the white and the green and the white actually come from the ribbon section. Now this pretty orange is a fall color. They also have some from in the Christmas section, so be sure to check out those too. So I'm going to take this as my base, and I'm going to do my bottom of my wreath first. Then the color combination of my ribbons to match, I'm going to mix and match these 2 along with this beautiful ribbon that Charlie picked out up at where did we get this ribbon? Arnie's in Houston. So we found this up at Arnie's when we went to go get some homecoming ribbons. So that's the color combination that we're going to use for our ribbons. Thank you so much, Miss Marion. Thank you. So all you do when you're starting your wreath forms is take your 10-inch mesh and you're going to crinkle it in like this, just leaving a little bit of a section here that's going to tie in to these loops, okay? So it doesn't matter where you start, but you want to start on the outside ring. Then you're going to take it and you're going to come up about 10 to 12 inches, and then you're going to bunch it up again in the center, and you're going to tie it into the next tie. Now, as you're tying these, you want to make sure that you're pushing that mesh all the way to the bottom of that tie. Because as you add more layers to it, it's going to use up your tie. And you have to be able to have enough of that tie left to be able to tie in your other colors of your mesh along with your ribbons. So you want to leave yourself that section on there. Push it all the way down when you tie these in. Always make sure to keep your mesh straight as you're going on there. Don't let it get twisted, because if you do, then it's not going to lay right. You're going to be fighting it. All right, Miss Benita, thank you for hopping on. You take care of yourself. So then I'm going to come around. I'm going to crinkle it in again. If Miss Amy Ott is on, I need your address from the other night. I lost your address. I went back through all my messages through Facebook, through my instant messages, through everything, y'all. Because there's so many different platforms, it's hard to keep track of everybody's messages. So if you're on tonight, I need your address for your prize that you won the other night. So all you do is continue to work around the outside ring, taking 10 inches, coming up, crinkling it in, and then tying it into the next one. Now what I like to do as I go is I like to fluff it and go with it to make sure it's laying right as I go along. That way when I get down to the end of it, I don't have to go back. I can just start adding all my extra stuff. For me, it's like OCD thing, I guess, that I just like to keep them straight and kind of organized. It's one thing I can keep organized in my life, I guess, is the mesh around the wreath. So it's one of the things that I have just a teeny tiny little bit of control over. So I'm coming up 10 inches, crinkling it in, working around to the next tie, taking it, pushing that all the way to the bottom and giving it a good twist. You want to make sure you twist it all the way around at least one time to hold that in place. Okay? So then we're going to come over here and do the same thing. We continue all the way around until we meet where we started. And then at that point, we're going to cross over to the second one. Thank you guys for all the hearts tonight. I'm feeling loved, y'all. I was kind of down when I first got home tonight. My husband goes, "What is wrong with you?" And I was like, I don't know. I just feel a little overwhelmed today, kind of beat down a little bit, but it's okay. It's going to be fine. And we're all, sometimes we have those days, y'all. Sometimes we do. So I'm just going to take it up, crinkle it in, come in, and now we're back to where we started from here, okay? Miss Carolyn, yours went out this morning, so I'm sorry. It just went out this morning. I was holding it because I wasn't sure about the mail service in Florida, but I did take it this morning when I shipped out the candle that got bought. So, oh, thank you, Miss Catherine. So just be sure to check it. I think it said like it's going to be there Thursday. So check with that. If you don't get it by Thursday, let me know. Miss Myra, you are on fire, girl. You are rocking them wreaths out. Miss Myra's been sending me pictures of her beautiful wreaths she's been making. So guys, look, we're finished the outside ring. Now we're going to take it. We bunch up 10 more inches and we're going to cross over to the inside. So we just take it and pull it over. Now, if the tie is directly across, you want to go to the next one. You want it kind of at an angle, but not directly across, okay? Oh, thank you, Miss Patty. Thank you so much. All right, Miss Carolyn, you be sure to check and let me know if you don't get it. But it's, I believe that if I wasn't filming on my phone, I could look up I'll send you the tracking on it. But I think it said, no, it wasn't tracked. It's coming through regular mail. So you might get it sooner than that. Welcome, Miss Catherine. Welcome to the group. Y'all, this is a lovely bunch of ladies if y'all have not been on before. So we welcome you to our group. You will be thoroughly loved by all of them. We feel like we're our own little family here. So we're just continuously working our way around. Hi, Colton. Hi, Ashley. Ashley just got home and Colton's out of town, so we didn't get to see him the last couple of days. Had never done wreaths before. Oh my gosh, Miss Myra. Well, you are doing a fabulous job. Miss Myra has been sending me some of her beautiful pictures. Thank you so much, Miss Marion, because I have needed it today. I have needed that today for sure. So I thank you guys. Sometimes life will just beat you up just a little bit, and then you're just like, nope, not today, Satan, get behind me. So my friend called on the way home, and she just got back from Disney. She was stuck down there during that hurricane, and they did fine, and she got back home, and she goes, I'm not having a good night at work. I need you to stop and pray with me. I was like, yes, let's stop and pray. That'll help the whole situation. Sometimes we forget to take it all to him, right? Hi, Miss Kim from Alabama. Welcome, welcome. So I'm just working my way around this wreath, tying these ties directly in all the way, pushing it down as far as you can to the base, and then fluffing up each loop as I go. And then I like to turn it. Now, I even like to do these off of this. I usually don't make these on the stand unless I'm filming. So the easiest thing for me to do is sit on the back of the couch and turn it and do it, standing up over the top of it. So whatever works for you, I usually will sit and tie 5 or 6 of them at a time, and then I'll go back and decorate them. But I'll do like all the bases while I'm watching TV. But I do definitely use my beautiful stand when I'm doing lives because it's easy for me to turn it on here. But you can also do this sitting down. So just to let y'all know. All right, guys. So we're back to the middle where we started from the very beginning. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Now, I have about this much left of my roll. On the 10-inch mesh, you want to finish this roll, and you're just going to keep working your way around on the inside circle. And then, thank you so much. Then you're going to finish that roll on the inside circle. Now see what happened? My ribbon got twisted up here. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to turn it back right, because if this gets twisted on your actual wreath, it's going to mess you up. It's not going to lay right. So always make sure to keep your ribbon going the same flow, so that way it'll keep your loops in the right direction. So I'm just going to continue working my way around this wreath, and then I'm putting it down, tying it in, pushing it as far down on there as I can, because I need this green tie to finish tying in the rest of the stuff. So I'm going to take it, crinkle it in, move it to the next one, and just keep working around. Now you may be able to get all the way around with a whole separate loop around, but you may only get 5 or 6 loops on there. Whatever it is, it's fine. It's not going to look lopsided, because once you get all your other mesh and all your ribbons on there, it's going to be fine. Hi, Miss Lee Ann. Hello, hello. Hi, Miss Nancy. Thank you guys all so much for all the sweet comments. So I'm going to take this, keep working my way around. And as you can tell, your ties are going to start getting shorter because you're putting layer on top of layer. But that's why you have to push them down as far as you can, because you have to be able to save these ties to put in your extra ribbons, okay? Because we still have extra mesh and we have our ribbons to put on there. So I'm just going to continue around here. We're almost done. Probably just maybe 3 more loops and we should be good. Thank you, Miss Catherine. Thank you so much. So we're just going to keep working our way around. And we're on the inside circle with the ties. Now, if you have a Michaels next to you, be sure to sign up for their rewards program. You just have to put in your email. I know we get so much spam junk. My God, I've got 23,000 emails or something to go through. Believe me, I know it's a nuisance, but for every $1 that you spend at Michaels, you actually earn reward points. So you can get $5, $10, $15, $20 off your purchases. So be sure, even though as annoying as it is, be sure to sign up. Also, another one is Joann's Fabrics. I found out today that you can get their app and they'll send you coupons like every few days there to your email. I mean, to the actual app, to where you can just click on it and get your rewards. Now, I'm signed up, but I never have the coupons with me when I'm there at Joann's Fabrics, ever. Because they're at home on my bar waiting for me to go to Joann's Fabrics. And then, like tonight, I stopped by on my way home because I needed buttons for our class tomorrow night. So, you know, you never have the coupons when you need it. So if it's on your phone or on an app, it'll be easier to get to. Good evening, Miss Kim. Hello, hello. All right, guys, so I've got right down here to the very end, so I'm going to unwind it, and I'm going to see if I have enough to do one more loop. If not, then we'll give it a little cut. We probably have enough, right? Exactly enough to tie in one more time. Then we don't lose any of our mesh. Then that little tiny tail that is left over, you're just going to take it and you're going to tuck it up underneath the loop that's ahead of it, so that when you're done, it looks perfectly fine. Everything's designed around, everything's pretty even and looks pretty and fluffy. Okay? So let me turn y'all just a little bit and see if I can get you a little bit more on point. All right. Hi, Miss Debbie Bankston. I have missed seeing all of you guys. Y'all, I truly have missed y'all being, y'all, I am like up to here in Homecoming Mom orders. So that is the reason, that and traveling for these craft shows, that I have not been on. So please just bear with me. We're halfway through, but we're still going to have classes, so don't panic. I'm not going anywhere. It's just I don't get to see you guys as much, and that makes me sad. So, but it's okay. We're going to make it. We're going to make it. Oh, thank you, Miss Catherine. I'm sorry. I get to talking and watching y'all, and then I can't see the comments. Sorry, I got to talk and swallowed wrong. All right, so I'm going to open up my 2 mesh. Excuse me, guys. Let me grab some water real quick. Okay, I'm coming back, y'all. I'm sorry. My daughter keeps saying, Mom, you need to have a swallow study. You choke all the time. But I do. I'll get to talking and get ahead of myself, and then I start choking. Okay, we're all good. We're good. We're good. Okay, let's see here. Oh, thank you, guys. I miss y'all. I do. I feel like y'all are part of my family. And so I don't get to see y'all or talk to y'all every day. It makes me sad. So thank you, guys, for hanging in. And just know that I'm still here. We're still going to do classes at least twice a week until I get through this. Miss Rita, I'm actually videotaping from my iPad, because I don't have all the fancy stuff yet. I know, Miss Myra, I have not got any sweet tea. Can you believe that? I need to make some more. My old sweet tea. Y'all, I'm telling you guys, if we ever get to have an in-person, I'm making y'all my homemade sweet tea. We'll make y'all breakfast. I'm telling you, you'll never drink any other sweet tea. Just saying. It is the best sweet tea ever. I told y'all that I had my security guy at the hospital tell me to bring him some. Like, he'd always say, can you bring me a gallon of sweet tea? I was like, sure. Sure, Julius, I'll bring you some sweet tea. All right, guys, so I'm going to come down here and I'm going to cut my 10-inch roll. I'm cutting both colors together, and I'm going to cut them at between around 11 to 12 inches. Okay, so measure it out and cut them 11 to 12 inches. And I'm going to cut 16. Let me turn this a little bit now that I'm not doing that. See? I'm going to cut 16 of these. And what I do is I measure out the first one, and then I'll measure it against that one. So I don't measure each individual one. I measure it against it. I know the trick to making some good sweet tea, you guys, is melting that sugar in part with your hot water first before you add the rest of it. So boil that water, put your sweet tea bags in there, put your sweet bags, your tea bags in there. Then I use one of the old-fashioned Tupperware 2-gallon pitchers. 3 cups of sugar in the bottom of the pitcher. Then you use a big pot, boil like 2 or 3 tea bags in there, make it as dark as you possibly can make it. Let that boil. Once the tea starts boiling, it boils for a good 1 to 2 minutes. Take that, pour it over that sugar, give it a good stir, 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 stir. Make sure every drop of that granules of that sugar is melted. Make sure it's all dissolved, and then add your cold water up. You'll never go back and drink any other tea. It is the best, the best. Oh, yeah, I love some sweet tea. And sun tea is really good too. If you sit it outside in the summertime, oh my goodness, it's so yummy. With some hamburgers on the pit. Some good eating right there, y'all. So I'm telling you, if we're ever able to have an in-person, I'm going to have more fun cooking for you guys than we'll do crafting, right? So it'll be a whole weekend. I'll get Charlie on the pit. I'm volunteering him now. So let me count because I got sidetracked here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 8 more cuts. And then we'll cut our ribbon. So we're going to do the same thing for the ribbon. So if you're following along and you're doing your cuts as I'm doing mine, then if you get through, you can go ahead and start cutting your ribbons. You're going to cut the same amount, 16 of each ribbon that you're going to use. Now I'm color combinations. I'm using 2 1.5-inch ribbons, the orange and the sage, because I want to pull out both colors. So I'm going to probably use 9 and 7 of those. So I'm going to cut those individually. Oh, I am just cutting and I lost track again, but that's okay. Oh, yes, ma'am. So I've been cutting the sugar down. They don't know that, but yeah. I use about 2.5 cups now. But used to it was 3 cups of sugar every time. Y'all, I buy sugar by the 50-pound bags. Very least the 25-pound bags because of all the candy that I make. So yeah, I actually need to go to Sam's again because I'm almost out of sugar. And it's candy season, y'all. It's candy season. All right, let me count again, y'all. 3, 4, 5, 6. It's really better to do this when you're not talking so you can keep track of it, but it's okay. So I pre-cut all my stuff, right? So 16, 9 for the outside, and 7 for the inside. Now I'm going to keep this close because I didn't really count all the way through, so we might still be a little short, but that's okay. We'll come back and fix it. So now this, I know. Oh, he knows. I have to wait till Charlie's on keto for a while. And then when he gets off keto, then the sugar tastes good to him. So then he doesn't know that I cut it down. So I have to talk quiet. He's in there. Okay. So, all right. I got a 2.5-inch wired ribbon. And then I got the 1.5-inch. So this is the color combination to match my sign that I'm going to use. So I'm going to cut 16 of this because this is going to be my base. And then I'm going to cut 9 if I have enough. And then we'll finish off with the sage. Okay. So the same thing. I want these cuts about 11 inches. So I'm going to measure my first one, and then I'm going to cut the 2 together. The 2.5 and the 1.5, I'm going to cut them together. All right, so let me get my tape measure here. Y'all, I keep these are 99 cents at Hobby Lobby. I get a ton of them. I buy them literally, let's do these 10-inch cuts, okay? So 10 inches. I literally buy these like 6 or 7 at a time because I'm always needing them to measure boxes and, you know, when I'm packaging stuff up to ship or measure this or measure that. So I always keep them in my purse. So I'm like working around. When I'm at stores, I'm like, oh, I can put this on this. And then I, you know, So yeah, I have them everywhere. And of course, when I need one, I can never find it. Ever, ever, ever. I think I've got 2 on the table now. One of them's supposed to be in my purse, so that will be my thing. That's funny, Miss Kathy. You never know. You never know what those guys think. That's so funny. them people, you know, there are the moonshiners that make moonshine. All right, let's see how many I had of the orange here. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So of course I was 1 short, but that's okay. So I'm going to use, I've got 6, so I need 10 of the sage, and then that will just have a little bit more sage to it, but that's okay. Also, guys, when you're cutting your ribbon, make sure that you're angling it. If you're going to V all of them. Whatever you do to one of the ribbons, you want to make sure they're all the same so it looks uniform on your piece. This one's been sitting around for a minute, so I just want to trim it up to where it's not frayed on the end. I'm going to measure it against the other ones here and cut 10 of those. Okay, 2 more and then we'll be done there. These are going to be so pretty together, y'all. Oh my goodness. I love this ribbon. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that just beautiful? And Charlie found this. I couldn't believe it. I was looking at homecoming stuff and he goes, oh, I want to show you some ribbon I found. So he actually picked out this ribbon and he picked out the one that I used on that light up. So these are just beautiful ribbons and I was so proud of him. And there's enough on here that I finished. So there was 10 yards on here. So there's going to be enough on here to make 3 or 4 bows still out of it with you mixing and matching other colors together. So that's why I like to buy at least the 10-yard rolls so you can mix and match and use it up as you want to and still get multiple projects out of one roll. All right, guys, so I've got all my ribbons cut and I've got my mesh cut. So now we're going to start attaching it to the actual wreath. So I'm going to turn y'all just a little bit here. I know. See what I've taught him, Miss Kim? He loves to shop with me. He gets me in trouble though, y'all. I've got like 3 bags of stuff from the at-home store that he's got. He goes, let's get this. This will be pretty. Let's get this. And I can't get it all done. I'm trying so hard to get all this projects done. All right, guys. So so there's 2 different ways that you can do this. You can roll it like a tube. Roll it like this. Put the 2 colors on top of each other. Put your ribbons and then use it in there. So you've got little tubes. But now I have really found that if you do the butterfly effect, that it covers more and it looks fuller on your wreath. Now, either way you want to do it is totally fine. So when you do the butterfly effect, you take it and roll it on either end to give yourself a good little roll. Then this last little section right here in the middle, you just crinkle it up. Okay? So now, if you have arthritis or you're not used to doing these while holding the other color like this, you can take clips, clothespins, and clip it, set it aside, roll your next one, and then put them together. So I'm going to put the orange on the top because it's the lighter of the 2 colors, rolling it on either end, and then crinkling it in the center. And then I'm going to put the green, then the orange, and then I'm going to add my ribbons on here. Okay, so it looks like a little butterfly, and you hold it in the center. Then you take your 2.5-inch ribbon or your wider ribbon. Now, I like to use the wired ribbons because they hold the form better. If you only have one of the wired, put it to your back. Make sure it's the back ribbon to hold and support your other ribbon on top. But if you're able to use both ribbons as wired, it's going to give you the best design, okay? Because it'll hold its form. If it gets smashed or it gets hit on the door, you can easily go and fluff your pieces back up. So you want to crisscross your ribbons, and then you're going to tie it into your tie right here in the center. So it doesn't matter if you start on the outside or the inside, because you're going to put one of these little pieces on each tie. And then whatever else greenery that's left, you just tuck it to the back of the tie, and then you come and you fluff up your ribbons. And it kind of gives it like a little bit of a flare look, so it covers more of your actual wreath. So I'll show y'all here. Let me scoot this back. So see how it just flares in there? So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to do it just like this all the way around to every single tie. Yes, Miss April, a lot of people do have trouble, especially until you get used to doing this effect. Okay, so if you do, then just take you a clothespin, clip it in the center, or if you have one of the easy bow makers, you can stick this down in the center of it, hold it, and then you can come back. Now, some people too do use the little zip ties and then tie them in with that. I don't waste the extra cost of the zip ties on there, because you know those things are a little expensive, and you start putting them on every one of your wreaths, and then you're talking about extra money. But if that works for you, you could definitely take a little zip tie, run it right through the center, and set it aside, and then come back and add it all onto your wreath afterwards. It's just whatever you want to do as far as cost. Now I'm going to take my 2.5-inch ribbon. I'm going to come in here. I do use my zip ties to attach my signs to my wreath, but in order to put them on every single tie, I just can't. Everything has gone up so much, y'all. I tried to save as much as I can so I can keep my prices good for my customers. I had one lady message me the other day. She goes, I need help. She said, I tried to ship a wreath and it was like $57. And I'm like, I know, people just don't understand the cost of all of this. The boxes are expensive. The shipping is expensive. It all adds up, and you're still trying to keep your prices low enough where people can afford your product. So it's a lot of learning, a lot of trial and error, but y'all can get there. So don't give up. Just keep pursuing and keep moving forwards, because you'll get there. All right, y'all. So I'm just working my way around. Now my base colors of the green and the orange are all the same, but my ribbons are going to be altered as I go around. So I know that I've only got 5 of the orange. So I want to put 3 on the top, and I'm going to put 2 on the bottom of that color combination. Now you could put them all on the top, but I like to have a little bit of the same ribbon on both layers, just to kind of get, you know, to even it out a little bit. You just take it, crinkling it in, holding it in the center, and then you're going to come back with your other color, crisscross it, crinkle it in, and then tie it into your next tie. Now, if they get too short to where you don't have enough of the green tie, you may have to actually untie it and stick it in on top of it. You just want to make sure that you're not letting any of your mesh pop out of it. So sometimes the ties are really short, so you have to go through and do that. You may have to untwist it, like untwist this, and then stick it down in there. Thank you so much, Miss Doreen, for the stars. I really appreciate you very much. Y'all don't ever feel obligated to send stars, but we do appreciate it. And then I'm just going to go through here and continue around, alternating my ribbons to give it the actual, to put both color combinations in here. Taking my 2.5-inch in first. Hi, Miss Susan. Happy Tuesday. And then tying it right in. And then I like to fluff them as I go so that when I get done, then all you have to do is actually attach your sign, because then you've already done all your work as you go. I use pipe cleaners and plastic ones are cheaper. Oh, for sure. For sure. Hi, Miss Sheila. Hi, Miss Brenda. Welcome. For those of y'all all just hopping on, I'm Bobby with Blessings with a Bow. So Miss Caroline, the stars, it actually, you set up an account with them. You have to meet so many criteria through Facebook in order to receive the stars. And we are, they sent us a message after my second bow class. We had, it had been shared up to like 350,000 people. No, I take that back. It was almost 700,000 people by the time the class had got shared and shared and shared and shared and shared, that Facebook recognized us as a potential high viewer page. And so they set it up for us. But the stars actually give you rewards, and they set you up an account, and I think you get a penny for every star that is given through there. Now, how you get those stars, I still haven't got. I've sent in all the stuff, but it keeps saying that I need to do one last thing, which I'm not sure about. So I'm trying to get a hold of the Facebook support group to find out what I'm supposed to do, because I'm not technical at all with any of this, y'all. I'm just a nurse. I'm not technical when it comes to computers and all that gizmaro or whatever, all that stuff. I had one of the nurses on here that watched. She said, I'm from back in the day of pen and paper. I'm like, yes, pen and paper. That's what I love. That's old school. And that is so much easier than all this technology. It drives me crazy. I locked up my phone yesterday on the way home from work. I was so frustrated. I kept hearing everything ding and go off and calls coming in. Could not access anything. It was just a black screen. And I got home and I told my husband, I was like, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. I think it's broke. I said, I even threw it down trying to get it to reset. He goes, oh my God, you're going to break it. He goes, give me your phone. And he YouTubed something, and it was some kind of, I don't know, some buttons were hit in the sequence wrong and it locked up the whole thing. So he did something and did this and did that. And he goes, here you go, your phone's fixed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot even with all this. He knows I get so frustrated with technology. So he's like, just give me your phone. So, hi, Miss Parker. How are you today? So we're just working our way around our wreath, y'all, until we get to where we finish the inside circle. Then we're going to go and do the outside ring. Now, what I really like to do is when I cut my ribbons, I make sure that I have the amount that we need. So I know that there's 16 total, right? So if I get down to the end and I have one extra set of ribbons, then I know that I've missed something somewhere. So then you can go back and look. Oh, Miss Catherine, they are definitely a blessing. I tell you, my daughter's a nurse and my daughter-in-law both graduated within the last 3 years now, maybe, from RN school. So I told them, I was like, now that I got you girls through school, now I can go finish my RN, and then I'll probably retire and do nothing but crafts. But I just want to finish, because I've been an LVN for 22 years, and I'm very proud of my girls because they're both done. I've got my daughter-in-law is a PD nurse and works downtown in the med center, and then my daughter is a trauma nurse. So they stay very, very busy and they work so much. Bless their hearts, they're both just busy, busy, busy. Oh, that would be wonderful, Miss Rosemary. I told my son that I was going to have to get with one of the kids he went to school with. He's the IT guy teacher at the school in Elkhart, and I said I'm going to have to get with Yancey, and I'm going to have to hire him to be my tech guy, because there's so much stuff I don't know about. I was like, I'm sure he knows all the ins and outs. He was such a whiz in school when the kids were young, and then now he teaches it to high school kids. It's so fun. I know, so cool. All right, guys, so now I've got the inside ring done, and so now I'm going to go through and I'm going to start on the outside ring. So this is what it looks like so far. Let me scoot it back. So that's going to be our color combination. Now we're going to go back through and do the outside ring. So we've got 9 on the outside, and then we'll be able, oh, Miss Linda, thank you for all your years of service. Thank you. They're not really into crafts that much. So, oh, Miss Marion, I had thought about doing that, and I'm not sure. Maybe when I retire up to East Texas, maybe, I don't know what I'm going to do. I would love to teach. That's actually what I would like to do, is go teach nurses. But, oh, thank you, Miss Carolyn. Hi, Carol. Hi, Miss Vivian. Thank y'all so much. We're just continuously working around our way here. Now, what I like to do when I'm using a color combination of 2 different ribbons, as you can see here, I've got the sage, and then I have the checkered, like the pumpkin spice. So when I'm using that, I actually like to start, so here's my sage. So I'm going to start on an orange one. So that's just me. I like to start it a little contrast so that it's not directly the same on there. Now, if I'm doing all the same ribbons, it doesn't matter. But when I'm using 2 different ones, then I definitely... Oh, Miss Catherine, bless your heart. See, East Texas is big into the prison system because that's what they've got a lot around there. And right out of nursing school, that was one of the major places that you could go work. And so my brother actually was a field boss out there that rode horses. And he said, you are not going to the prison system. He said, you will get smooth ran over out there. He goes, you'll be wanting to take everybody home and bake them something. He goes, no, you need to find a different job. So bless his heart, I took his advice and I went to work for the hospital in Palestine. So I worked in the ICU department. I just worked wherever they needed me because I always think that if the more you learn, the more flexible you are, then you can go anywhere and do anything for anybody. So the more I can learn, the more I love. I told you I'm one of those people. If I could, I would definitely go learn everybody's job, even if it was just for a few days. Because I think it's so intriguing to learn how other people, then you appreciate what they do even more, right? If we walked in their shoes, then you know what they're going through. Miss Cindy, you'll get there, so keep trying. If you're struggling with it, just keep practicing. And if it doesn't flow right for you at first, that's okay. Just unroll it and do it again. Don't give up, y'all. I wish I had a picture of the first wreath that I ever made with this mesh. I made it and I said, oh my gosh, this is terrible. I was like, I am not doing this. This is just a fad. It's not going to hang around forever. Y'all, that was like 25 years ago, maybe not that long. I don't know. Time flies so much anymore. And so when it kept hanging around, I'm like, I better learn how to make these wreaths because it's definitely not going away. So it has just gone better and bigger and better and, fancier and this and that. So don't give up, y'all. Just keep trying. Y'all have got this. That's right. Y'all have got this. You can definitely, it's easy to get discouraged. As I told y'all today, I was feeling very down, but y'all just keep it up and keep going because it's just practice. And I've had people message me about their bows that said they have struggled with bow making for years. And they just took my advice and they kept practicing. And they showed me their beautiful bows that they made. So don't give up, guys. Just keep trying. Yes, they do. Miss Catherine, if people buy these, just tell them to cover them in a dark sack and hang them up in the garage on a nail and they will stay beautiful. If you use the wired ribbon, you can easily fluff these up so nice and easy, and they will. I've got a nursing home that I make them for. They use them for like 6 or 7 years until the actual ribbon starts fading because it's right on their front doors. And then I take them and I'll still use the same frame, and then I'll go and redo it. Take all the stuff off of it, redo it for them, and then it just helps them. And then they've got a whole nother beautiful wreath. So yes, they do last for a long time. because this one has 9 on the outside, I'm actually going to put 2 together of the green and then come back with the orange. Because I only had 3 left to put on that outside ring. But you can mix and match it however you want to. Oh, I'm sure, Miss April, I'm sure. Well, Miss Catherine, I can sure ship it to you. Shipping is not I've got it down to a nice place that I know how to cut my boxes to cut down the price on it. So if you're interested, this wreath will be for sale. It is going to be $92 shipped, and that's straight out the door. So it's $92 will be the cost of this wreath. And this one is available, and so is the truck wreath that I showed at the beginning. And that is the ship price. Oh, thank you so much. All right, y'all, we have 3 more to do here, and then we'll be done with this, and then we can add our beautiful sign to it. And I do love fall. Fall is such a sweet time. People just start getting happier this time of year for the most part. Now, there are still people that really struggle with the holidays for lots of different reasons, but they definitely, for the most part, people start cheering up this time of year because there's a lot of outings and a lot of get-togethers, and people get to fellowship, especially coming off of COVID, y'all. People are really, really, really in need of time together with people. So it's definitely looking forward to some fellowship with family and friends this holiday season. It's the first year, y'all, in all my years of cooking and being a mom that I'm not cooking for Thanksgiving this year. We're going to cook. We're celebrating it over the weekend, so we won't get to have Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving Day, which is it's going to be a little bit of adjustment for me, but I'm excited they signed me up to work this year. Like I usually volunteer for every holiday except Thanksgiving because I cook for everybody. And this year they signed me up to work. So my daughter-in-law goes, well, that's fine. I'm off. We'll just go to Luby's. I'm like, we can't go to Luby's. But we're going to go to Luby's this year for the first time for Thanksgiving. And then we're going to cook for the weekend and have Thanksgiving over the weekend so we can celebrate it with Tommy this year. So we're excited about that. Bless their hearts. They don't get to come down because of all the animals, and we don't get to go up there usually because of everybody's work schedule. So everybody worked it out to where we'll be able to be with them on the weekend. So it's going to be different this year, but it's going to be a blessed time. All right, y'all, so we got one more, and then we're going to have all this part done. So what I like to do when I totally get done with it, I just go around and make sure, that we didn't miss any of the ties, because I wasn't able to really count the mesh. I did count the ribbon, and it looks like I might have missed one. So we'll go through and we'll check it just to make sure that everything's good. All the little pieces are covered up. I know, Miss Susan. I'm so glad. Oh, it's your son's house. How fun. A lot of people are visiting family right now, and that's always fun, y'all. I know nobody got to go with me last weekend when I went to the farm for that, the Texas Women's Association, but I got to visit with Tommy and Pam, and it was so much fun. I just love being able to fellowship with family. Even though the craft show this weekend's all the way in Oklahoma, I do have family up there, so I'm hoping to get to see them I usually do not travel that far, and I usually don't do that many craft shows because I just sell my stuff online. But it's at my cousin's mother-in-law's ranch, and she does a big community fall fest, and this is like her third year hosting it. And so I thought, well, how fun, and then I'll get to see everybody too. So that is my plan, to leave here Friday and head up there for this show. See, right here's one that's missed. So had I not counted my ribbons and realized I had one left over, then I would probably have just went right on. But I'm going to get to go and visit with them this weekend. So I'm super excited. I love spending time with family. Y'all remember years ago when you go to people's houses and you would just sit and talk, just sit and visit and talk? People don't do that anymore. People just do not take the time to do that anymore. Oh, thank you, Miss Pamela. Thank you so much, Miss April. I'm praying because I get sleepy when I drive because I don't sleep very much. So I'm going to have to be like major caffeine. I'm going to be hyped up, bouncing off the walls, and I'll be stuck in the truck for 8 hours. But that's okay. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. So I'm going to turn on my Christian music, and I'm just going to cruise down that highway and probably stop and take a million pictures so you all have to get to see my adventure this weekend. It's always fun to go on adventures. I love road trips. Love road trips. Charlie gets frustrated with me, especially like in the spring, and I'm sure I'll be stopping and taking pictures of the fall leaves because they're just starting to turn just a little bit, and I love, love, love taking pictures of nature. So I'll be like, hey, pull over, let me take a picture of those flowers. Let me pull over and take a picture of this. And so, yeah. So, all right, guys. So here is our beautiful wreath that we've got done this much, right? So see how full it is and how pretty it is all the way around. It's got all the beautiful colors, right? So this is a 16-inch frame. And now I'm going to come and I'm going to attach my sign, and it's going to be absolutely perfect. Look how beautiful that's going to be. It's going to be just the right amount of all the colors. See how pretty that is? I love fall most of all. It's going to be perfect. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Miss Rita. Y'all, I still love watching people to learn because we always can learn something. Even if we think we know how to do all of it, we still can learn stuff. I learn stuff new every single day. If there's a class at work or something new that's come out or a new product, I want to know about it. I want to know how it works. I want to know how it's done so that when somebody asks me, I'll know how to teach them. So I'm always trying to do different classes. All right, guys, let me lay this down for just a second. Let me just get my water over before I spill that all over my table. I just want to be able to attach my sign, and I'll lift it back up here for y'all, but it's always hard for me to do up on the stand. So what I like to do is take my zip tie, I go down through, so you can, on these little mounts, y'all, this is why I like them so much. These are game changers for your signs. You can go north and south, or you can go east and west with these to attach them to your wreaths. So these are cable mounts. You can find them on Amazon, and you can find them on Deco Exchange. They're actually the ones that started using these, Deco Exchange, and Damien, and then they sell them, and Parker sell them on, not Parker, Damien, yeah, I think it is Parker. They sell them on their website. So it's Deco Exchange. And then you can just take your zip tie. Now, if your sign is heavy, always make sure that you go down to the actual wreath frame to tie it into the wreath frame. And then you're not going to push that all the way down. You want it to sit on top of your mesh, but not to where it gets swallowed into your wreath. And I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. So you just gently sit it on top of your mesh. And you're going to attach it to that top ring. And I just barely tighten it, because I need it to secure where it's at, but not pull it so tight that it sinks it down into it. Um, oh, Miss Kathy, well, let me know how I can help you because this is a lot. I do my crafts because after all the stuff that we go through in a day's time, this is my wind down time. And I enjoy it. And we started it many, many years ago when I was with my mom as a little girl. I started doing crafts. And so it is a lot of fun and it's great therapy. So it kind of helps you sometimes. I'll go in my craft room and I'll just sit there and listen to my Christian music station and just get consumed by orders because, you know, sometimes we just have to have that outlet where it's not a, a, um, a critical situation or a trying situation. You can easily just sit down and do some crafts and not have to think too much and not have to be bothered by too many rash decisions at 1 second. So I find my crafting time very therapeutic. So y'all, once I get through putting my little zip ties on, then I take my mesh and I put back up around where the zip ties are tied into. Now I've just barely set this sign onto my wreath so where it's not sunk down in there. So a lot of people I see push it all the way down, and that's not what you want. You want it just sitting gently on top of your wreath to where all the decorations, all the ribbons and everything come around it and make it look full and pretty, and all your ribbons pop, and then there you have it. Okay? Yes, it is a great time to relax. So YouTube, thank you guys for hopping on. I'm going to say bye to YouTube and stop that. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, Blessings with a Bow, and let me know if I can help you. Thank you so much.